This is BROADScast
gosh,
with Kim Goldman and Jackie MacDougall.
We are not.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Welcome to our very first BROADScast on KHTS.
Yes, look at us.
12:20 a.m.
Listening, we're live in studio.
We are
This is like the
live.
most amazing morning ever. Before we launch into everything, I think we should just very quickly, not very quickly as to diminish how important she is, but maybe we should just quickly talk about why and who sponsored us today.
Absolutely. Today's BROADScast is sponsored in part by Gerard Cosmetics. Gerard Cosmetics is a line created for women by women who empower each other and strive to offer products that are luxurious, accessible, and endlessly chic. For an exclusive 30% off site-wide, go to gerardcosmetics.com/shop and enter promo code BROADScast and follow at Gerard Cosmetics on Twitter.
Thank you, Gerard Cosmetics. We love that you celebrate women and all that great stuff and broads. Yeah. So that's exclusive for our listeners.
Yes,
I think that's
absolutely.
pretty fantastic.
That is fantastic.
So why don't we tell everybody why and who we are? Just like a quick elevator.
I love an
speech.
elevator speech.
Really?
Yeah.
Elevators?
You go first.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm Kim.
Yes.
I'm the cute one. Wow. Yeah. I tried to get my face on television, but apparently I'm just only as good as radio.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, I'm Kim Goldman. I'm the co-host with my dear friend here, Jackie, and I'm 43. I'm a fantastic single mom. I'm just anyway.
I long walks on the beach and chasing butterflies.
I like butterflies and unicorns sometimes when the day's nice. So Jackie and I have been friends for a really long time, and thought maybe this would be a fun way to share our great ideas and thoughts, and be open-minded and empower other women and. So,
and people know you from, a lot of media with Oprah and Barbara Walters.
Oh,
and
Oprah.
To name a few.
Oh, Oprah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Babs. We love Babs.
Yeah, so, but there's more, about you on our website, broadscast.com. A little 10 questions with Kim Goldman. So if you want more there, it's there.
You could go look at that, and then you could laugh and poke fun and know all my secrets. Because I did the same thing for Jackie, but why don't you tell everybody who you are?
I am Jackie MacDougall. I am a self-proclaimed walking talk show, meaning I have lots and lots of bizarre experiences, but I also have many, many years in daytime television, specifically talk show marketing, and so I'm, finally we're doing this thing for us instead of other people, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, so the point of BROADScast, just for you guys, new listeners and old listeners coming back that have been waiting for us, we had the show a couple years back, and we took a little break so that we could focus on other things that are passionate to us. So I'm really happy that we are back doing our show on KHTS, so thank you for the opportunity. But part of the reason that we obviously wanted to do our show is to let every voice matter, and that we think every broad's voice matters. Yeah.
Yes. And one broad we have today on the show is one of the most candid and open women in reality TV, and that says a lot. But from Shahs of Sunset, MJ is here. So she is a personality. Oh my gosh, she's
I think
amazing.
that's a good word,
She's
a
amazing.
personality.
Yeah. But before we get to it, we want to let you know how to listen. So live, obviously, on KHTS AM 1220. And we're also live streaming on hometownstation.com as well as broadscast.com. And you can listen in the car or anywhere you go by getting the KHTS app. And speaking of which, on broadscast.com, we have been revamping that site.
Oh, yeah.
It is a work in progress, but we have to give a shout out to the team at Stark Social, because they are just day and night unbelievable. I've never worked with more professional, on the ball people. So thanks so much to them at starksocial.com. So.
Thank you. And then also, when our show is complete, for those of you that just can't get enough of us and want to repeat it, our podcast will be available on broadscast.com and on iTunes, which is like the bomb diggity. I just did that. And as well as at hometownstation.com, so you can download our podcast there. The video for all of our shows will also be on YouTube. So I think we're trying to break the internet with
Yeah, and
us.
BROADScast.com,
Oh,
which
right.
I have to say kind of goes against the reason we were doing radio, is so we didn't have to do hair and makeup, and
I
I
didn't.
didn't have to sit up straight, and I could wear pajamas, but clearly not, because we're going to be,
I didn't get that memo, hence.
So, but BROADScast is all about you. So call us today at 661-298-5487 and let us know what you think. Not only can you talk to MJ when she's here in just a little bit, we also have broad topics coming up. And as well, later in the show, we have Broad-Minded, which is a little segment that we do where we can talk about anything, questions, comments, advice, anything you want. That's our last segment, will be Broad-Minded. There's only one thing. You cannot talk about Grey's Anatomy from last night because I still have not seen it. And so don't you dare call here and start talking about Grey's Anatomy.
Oh,
that
wait.
is not.
You cannot talk about the Kardashians either. We are a Kardashian-free zone.
This is a Kardashian-free zone. Please spread the word. We will never discuss them. Okay. And what about social
And
media?
lastly, social media, because we just can't get enough. That is a huge part of our show because that's a great way for you to engage with us. And Tatiana, who is our associate producer, is here in the studio with us, so she'll be monitoring all of your comments and questions. So please find us at Facebook and Instagram. Our handle, what is it called? I'm so
BROADScast.
old. It's at BROADScast, and then on Twitter we are at BROADScast Show.
Right.
So plenty of ways to find us. So please check in, and we are going to break, and we'll be right back.
With broad topics. Welcome back to BROADScast.
Those never get old, I have to
Voiceover
say.
guy, Andrew Bowen. We love you, Andrew. Okay, so let's get right to it. Broad topics. Venice Beach. Even if you're not from California, Venice Beach is a scene. It's Muscle Beach. It's, constant tourists. Well, apparently, in a 12-2 vote Tuesday, the city council said it's, quote, supports women being afforded the same rights as men to sunbathe topless. Venice Beach going topless.
I find that in and of itself strange that they're supporting men's rights to go topless. I mean, I think that's odd in and of itself, just to say that it's a man's right to go topless. Isn't he just...
What's fantastic is that they're supporting women having those same rights, yet we still make less money for the same job. So, let's pick our battles here, people, of what rights we really want to fight for, don't you think? And you know that this thing will be over the second that someone breastfeeds. Because, God forbid, you can be naked, but don't feed a child with those things.
See, and I would like to be able to vote on what men I don't want to see topless at the beach. How come I don't get that vote? I mean, have you seen
moobs?
Moobs. Yeah, that's what
Maybe
my son
we should
calls
take
them.
away their rights.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we should just have an all-out debate on whose boobs we're allowed to see at the beach.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Those who do go topless at the beach, they're often the people you don't want to see topless at the beach.
Right. But
Men or woman.
Did you know that there are 6 other beaches that allow you to go clothing optional or topless? And I was, So in New Jersey, Key West, North Carolina, Vegas, no doubt, San Diego, and then in Miami.
Are you reading directly from your bucket list?
Yes.
Ba-dum-bum.
Wow. From my boob list. So in Miami, it's topless. And while it's not legal, they tend to look the other way, which I thought was kind of funny, that you don't even want to look at the boobs that you're seeing?
Oh.
That you're just going to look the other way?
Well, yeah, it's rude to stare. But also, I mean...
Nobody stares at me, trust me.
But, talk about equal opportunity here.
Yes.
The male hooters, they call it.
Male hooters. So tallywhackers, do I have that correct?
Tallywhackers.
Which is a great way to talk about the boys in Dallas who have decided to, they're opening up a restaurant in Dallas where the men are going to be in tight, I don't know, whitey tight. I don't even know what the heck they're going to be in. Whitey tighties?
No.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it is, they're putting this restaurant in the LGBTQ community, so it's mostly for gay people. Okay. So I sort of feel like, you know what? How come the single girls we get nothing?
Yeah, but aren't male strippers really
gross
for gay people? I mean, no, but gay men, no. I mean, they're lovely. Let's not insult the male strippers or the dancers or the whatever it is they're calling themselves in the dancing technicians or whatever. But I think that women. I mean, sure, it's fun. Like, you're out with friends, you've been to a bachelorette party or whatever, but, I've never gone to one of those shows and been like, oh, my God.
Well, for my Sweet 16, I had a dancer. Yeah.
Do
we have
that
a caller?
explains a lot.
Oh, I think we have a caller. Look at us. All right, Peter, do you want to go ahead and put our caller through? All right.
All right. Who do we have on the line?
Hey, this is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
So what are you calling about?
I'm calling about this Venice Beach topless thing.
Ooh, are
yeah?
you going to go?
Actually, yeah.
Really?
I guess I don't view it as like a women's rights, men's rights thing. I view it as okay, yeah, let's all grow up and accept our bodies. Like, it shouldn't be a big deal.
Are you surprised that it took this long for the city council to pass a vote or for it to actually even come up for vote in California?
I guess so. Well, if anywhere is going to pass something like that, it would be Venice Beach.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess it used to be like that. It used to be topless at one point.
Oh.
And
yeah,
then,
I read that. It was like 40 years ago or something. So
Yeah.
you live in the Los Angeles area.
I do.
So
yeah.
what if you're at the beach and you're topless and you're having a grand old time and you see like a coworker or something? Are you cool with that?
Well, I think that would be a risk you would have to acknowledge. Like, if you're going to do it, you need to expect that would happen.
Right.
If you don't want a coworker to see you topless, then don't go to the Venice Beach.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I sort of feel like my boobs are small and they're private. And I don't.
But I love.
So are mine. Mine are small too. That's the thing. Like, if people just accepted their bodies how they were and put it out of the, maybe you wouldn't feel as self-conscious about your small boobs if they got to be out in the sunlight more often.
Well, there you go. They say everything looks better tan. But thank you so much for calling, Sarah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a great day.
So I love that.
What?
That just
Boobs?
everything looks better.
Can we just
tan,
keep saying
so-
boobs?
Yeah. Well, anyway, moving on, and not a very good segue. But Bruce Jenner's big interview is
kind
tonight.
it's kind of a good transition.
Yeah.
To boobs.
So to speak.
Yeah.
But this is and I was. Here's the thing. Going through the transition, living your life, living your truth, yes, absolutely. Do your thing and live it. It's at some point after this interview, are we going to let him, or will he opt to step out of that spotlight that he's shared so much with that family we will not mention, and just live his truth? Because
Right.
I have respect for that. But let's not make it another circus.
I just hope, as someone who in my other life who works with teenagers who are struggling with their sexual identity and their gender expression, that this is an opportunity for a positive role model, that's someone they can emulate in a healthy way.
Right.
I think one of the things that he talks about, it's taken him 40 some odd years, or he's always wanted to be a woman, and I hope that this transition in a healthy way, as opposed to the media circus like you speak of, that it really does celebrate the transition, and that we as a country can be a little bit more tolerant and accepting, and pave the way for
Absolutely.
our new generation
Absolutely.
to come.
And you know
So-
what? Things have changed, and I'm glad that we're talking about this. So coming up next, from Shahs of Sunset, MJ will be here, and I'm excited about that. So
Come back.
We'll be right back.
Call in.
Welcome back. So
Wow.
to BROADScast. So week after week, let's just get right to it. Week after week, she never fails to surprise us and get us talking. From Bravo's hit reality show, Shahs of Sunset, MJ is here.
Wait,
How
wait,
are you?
just
Let's
like
get you
this?
close up to that
Yeah,
mic.
maybe like
Pull
this.
it. However,
I'm good.
Whatever works.
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thank
We're
you
so
for coming.
excited to
Thank
have
you.
you here.
So we just gotta, we're gonna just call you MJ because
Sure.
as the white girl in the room, I'm gonna ruin how to say Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Yes.
I love it.
Beautiful.
I've
Thank
been
you.
working on
Great
it in the break.
pronunciation.
Oh,
I did not.
It's such a.
I just stuck with MJ.
It's such a beautiful day. So season 4. I mean, did you ever expect?
No, I can't believe that we are at the end of season 4, and we're waiting for Bravo to officially greenlight 5, but our ratings have been great, and it's actually the next episode that airs on Monday night is the best of the season by far.
Really?
Oh my
So many
gosh.
real moments captured, and the drama is on high fleek. I don't like that expression, but everything's really, really heightened, and I like and am surprised.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, quite a ride. Like, everybody knows you now, and you are known for being so outspoken and candid, and nothing is off limits.
Yeah, I agree. I'm proud of that as well. I think I grew up with really strong self-esteem, and I owe that to the education that I received from sex ed and grade school and all those good things. And I think it's.
I haven't had sex ed yet. That's funny. I guess I should get on that. But
So how has your life changed? I mean, 5 years ago or 4 years ago when you started this process, what is the couple of biggest things that has happened to you since?
Well, they lie to you because they don't tell you that it's almost a year-round, 24/7 commitment. So from the first season to the current one, I've definitely gotten a hang of it, and you can just, for me, the biggest thing is to balance everything in your life before the show, along with this huge new thing that comes in. So I definitely can say my favorite thing about it is that people relate to me and that when they're empowered to wear shorts because they used to think that they were too big to wear shorts.
Right.
And, I've also inspired people to, well, these are all the emails and,
Right. And the
social media
comments.
messages about getting in therapy with their parents. And it's a mother-daughter, sometimes it's a father and daughter. And that also really means a lot to me.
right. Well, I mean, I think. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just, but staying on that for 1 second though, I think, have you had to alter any part of you at all to allow this process to work, or are you just 100% who you are all the time, no edits, no?
Yeah, I'm definitely not capable of altering myself. If I were to do that, I would be in my head, and I think that would translate immediately to audiences. I don't think people are responsive to fake stuff,
Right.
Which you can see, we've seen in the past the people that try to use a show as an infomercial or to fake the
Right.
funk. You just
Right.
can't get away with
To
it.
launch something else,
fake the fun.
I love that. But while other reality stars, who we will not mention, are making news for young women trying to emulate them in really, really negative ways, you get a lot of attention for your body and your appearance and owning it.
Yeah.
And I mean, were you born with that? Like, are you born with a positive self-image, or
No.
is that learned?
I was not born with it. I was incurably shy in grade school. And then I tried out for the cheerleading squad between 7th and 8th grade. And when I broke into doing something that terrified me, I really think I transformed into sort of going back to that sex ed teacher. She taught us how to communicate. She taught us about self-esteem. And those were the early lessons. And I know it was a very specific time in my life. And I think team sports for any kids out there or any parents out there is the best thing to shape you. You learn how to interact with other people, so many different personalities, the pressure of performing, even if it's just a soccer game or a
Right,
softball game
right.
or, whatever. So I did in
But that's
touch.
often a time that, kids are more self-conscious.
Yeah, when you're
and
going
that-
through puberty and things are starting to
that's-
pop.
But that, for you, is the time that you started kind of coming into your own?
Believe it or not, yes.
Wow.
And that was back
You got to
east.
give a shout out to that teacher.
I know.
She's
Rest in peace, Mary Lou Tatum. She's an amazing person. She impacted thousands of kids.
Wow.
Well, yes, because when we had this all cast photo shoot, and it was by a pool, and we were all supposed to come, and I'm terrified to be in a bathing suit with, at that time it was like with Lily and
Right.
Golnessa, and they're very, very thin, and they can do any angles and not have a bad one, and so
Right.
I ended up getting talked into doing a bathing suit solo shot, and they put it on no touches, no Photoshop, no airbrush, and
Right.
they even told me that they would, which was the reason why I was willing to.
Wait, they told you they would Photoshop
They were like,
and then
"Don't
did
worry."
it?
Yeah, they were like, "Don't worry, we'll make sure you look great, and we'll fix any rough edges." But at the moment, I just thought, you know what, I'm doing this. I don't care. This is about representing exactly this.
you are.
I'm not
Right.
gonna. Yeah, I never called or asked to see what they were gonna do before they put it out, and they put out what they did, and I'm happy for it.
Right. And so you also are a huge cook. Like, you love to cook.
Yes,
So
I
what
do.
kind of things?
Well, first of all, both of my parents are really intensely amazing cooks. So I feel like I learned through osmosis, just by watching and tasting. And one thing I've done is I've replaced water instead of oil to make all of these dishes that, like chicken and rice is, with a stew, with green beans, with vegetables. And the fact is that you don't need oil to cook things. You can do them in water. You save so many calories. And of course, there's always going to be, olive oil and the good fats are always going to be in the food. But
Right.
I'm really excited about sort of sharing those ways, those, kind of bringing the old school to the new school, and so we can be healthier.
And so you'll have, will we see a an MJ cooking show?
I would love to integrate more of that into my life because, the show does focus on getting crunk a little more often than being calm.
I love it.
Right.
All right. So we are going to take a break. When we come back, MJ, are you cool if we have a couple people calling in and wanting to ask questions? All right.
Yes.
So don't forget 661-298-5487, and we will be right back.
Like chaos going on with selfies
Oh my
in
gosh.
the studio.
We need a selfie stick.
Yeah, welcome back. 661-298-5487. I will never have a selfie stick, just by the way.
That's called your arm.
By the way, if you're not listening live, we're also available on iTunes. So download the podcast and subscribe, and also on YouTube. So welcome back. We are here with MJ from Shahs of Sunset. One thing that I love about the show is, maybe you don't love it, no, but your relationship with your mom. It's so complicated.
Yes, it is.
And tumultuous.
It is.
We don't, no other woman could ever relate to that.
She's looking at me. I'm
looking at you,
I
kid.
have an absent tumultuous relationship with my mom, but I mean, I'm always interested in how women, mothers and daughters relate. But this is an opportunity for all of us to watch. Is that uncomfortable? I mean, how does that play out, and how does that? I mean, the world's watching you have this angst with your mom.
Most people think that she's not really like that. The truth is she's worse. She can be...
She downplays it for TV?
She definitely doesn't downplay it, but, they don't always capture and broadcast everything. My mom is so opinionated, and God bless her, we love to have a woman who's got so much to say. But I'm the one and only focus of a lot of that critique. Mm-hmm. I think that as long as I know how to process the way that the words might come out of her mouth a certain way, but I, as the predecessor, have to translate it sometimes and help her and say, listen, Mom, like, this is a conversation we had this week. I was like, the reason I don't call you back is because you're not fun to talk to. And if you just say every single thing that you want to tell me, because she always is like in a panic about the fact that she's got to give me this information and I need the advice and who else is going to give it to you and who else cares. I'm like, listen, just say it with a smile. Try to just bring some joy into this. Like, tell me anything. I'll listen to you all night long. But the way that we communicate, as you all know, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I'm always going to struggle with that and trying to help her come out of what I think is a really harsh way of communicating, as opposed to.
Well, how do you translate? In one of the episodes, your mom told you that you weren't marriage material. How do you translate that to make it palatable?
I could blame everything on my parents. I mean, if it's something
my children do, so why not?
Right, exactly. Because when she said that, it really, really hurt. It cut really deep, and I questioned it at the time because this was about, I think, 2 or 3 years ago that she said this. And when, for all the parents out there who are listening, really be careful how you talk to your children, because we would really like to, on a deep level, connect to our parents as being someone that we can get encouragement from, and not to be told that we can't do something. So I doubted myself. I am in therapy with the same Dr. Michelle, who's amazing, and I worked it out with her, and basically, if I want to be someone's wife, I will. And if that's right for me, and hopefully it is, then it'll happen.
So do you have to kind of reprogram yourself to believe what you actually feel and not what your mother feels as truth?
Exactly.
Because I think we tend to hear certain things, especially at a younger age, and then we start to take them on as our truth.
Right.
Totally. And we don't want to be limited by those negative thoughts. And, I don't want to be stifled by coming from a broken home, divorced parents, even though they're amicable to this day. I am not married, and I really think that it's about soul searching and finding my way to be in a committed relationship. I have a lot of fear of that. I'm terrified to get married because I'm terrified of divorce.
But they got divorced much later.
They did. They got divorced when I was 6. They were married for about 8 years. But bottom line, I didn't grow up with 2 loving parents.
Right.
They loved me. They just didn't love each other.
Yeah, but you said the term broken home. I mean, I think that's such a negative concept. I mean, I came from a divorced family. My dad's on his third marriage. I'm a divorced mom. I think my home is not broken at all just because there's not two people living in it. My home is actually much healthier with the current state in my house. And what I'm teaching my son is how to have loving parents and loving environments, and it doesn't always have to look. I mean, I'm divorced and I'm scared to get married again because I don't want to fail again.
Right.
But, I hear my dad in my head apologizing to me for, thinking that he's, ruined me forever for marriage. But,
the thing is, all my life I would normalize that what happened between my parents didn't affect me. And so throwing that broken home out is sort of a message back to myself so that I reinforce that I know that I've got some stuff to work on. Because I was always, because I was like, everything's fine. My parents, they're great. Oh, they're divorced, but it's fine. Saying that to myself wasn't very healing, and it didn't really elevate me.
This way it makes you a survivor. You can acknowledge that things weren't ideal, but at the same time, you are who you are because of it.
Yeah, I didn't deal with a lot of things when they happened. I'm very much of a late bloomer. Things are happening, and I'm realizing what they were 10 years later. That, to me, is also not good. If your father sat with you and talked to you, or if you have kids that are going through the divorce, if they should be sort of more aware of what they're going through, counseled, and communicate.
But I think that no matter what your situation is, as you get older, it's always going to be a work in progress. You're always going to be hopefully self-reflective and looking, and I mean, I like that you're reminding yourself that's your touch point to say broken home. For me, that's a trigger the opposite way, because my dad.
Does it trigger your guilt?
I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I'm looking back when I hear people say broken, it kind of makes me sad because but you really put into perspective that actually is really healthy.
You broadened her mind.
See how that we did it.
Broaden.
And we can create another name for it as well. It doesn't.
No, but that's what works for you, and that's your trigger. I'm just thinking, for everybody it's different, and if that's what keeps you healthy and moving forward, then
absolutely.
So I think.
We're going to
go to break, and then we do have someone waiting on the line.
Yes, we're going to take some calls. Okay. 661-298-5487. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Back to BROADScast.
Here we are back in the studio again. MJ, thank you so much. Sometimes the off radio conversations are better. We have to learn how to keep that rolling. We'll have to blooper reel.
Yeah.
So thank you for being so honest. I think we have a couple callers on the line. So why don't we, Peter? You want to rope them in?
Let's do it.
Hi, who's on the line?
Hi, this is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
So, do you have a question for MJ?
I do. Well, no, I have a question, and I want to just comment that I was sorry to hear about what happened to her dog.
Thank you, Sarah.
That
Thank
was
you.
so sad.
My question, though, is were you really going to have him stuff?
So, Pablo started to have multiple.
A little chihuahua.
Yes, he passed away June 8th last year. He had multiple seizures, and he was having trouble breathing. So I put him in the car. We drove to the vet. It was the day of Gay Pride. The street was locked.
Oh, right, locked.
And we're landlocked or whatever you want to call it when we couldn't drive. Gridlocked. And and so
that's a new term.
When I'm inventing. So when he passed away, I was not going to. Sorry to say this, but I wasn't going to dump him at the vet. I was just going to hold him. I walked the long way home and just kind of had to deal with this, which I thought, when I got home with him, I called the vet. I found out what my 3 options were. So cremating him, you set him on fire, you burn him, bury him, he starts to decompose and, worms grow out of every orifice. Or I could have him taxidermied, which at the time I thought that he would weigh the same. And then when you tune in and stay tuned to see what my final decision is, because when you do find out about the process of taxidermy, you think it's probably not such a good idea.
But you had an interesting way of
Preserving him.
It
was per the instructions of the vet and the taxidermists, plural. I got advice from 3 of each to make sure that I was like, so this is legal, this is okay, I'm allowed to do this. They were like, absolutely, you have to, in order to have the time to make the decision before rigor mortis sets in. So, yeah, I'm very, very okay with that decision.
So you put him in the freezer?
Yeah, I had to.
That's what they instructed
I had
you to do.
him frozen until I would
Next to the
deliver him.
Goldschlager? I mean,
No, I did take precautions.
Jägermeister.
My
Sorry,
refrigerator was completely emptied and lined with plastic and wrapped, and he was wrapped the right way. And, I took about 4 days to say goodbye.
Yeah. Well, I'm so very, very sorry. I mean, we know we both have dogs, and Tatiana, you grew up with animals, and we know. I mean, that's a tough,
I don't think you realize how much a pet is part of your home. And I used to make fun of people. Well, I still make fun of people that have their dogs like in their baby carriages and the strollers and stuff. I find that to be a little
Says
cute.
the woman who has 2 dogs and 3 cats.
Yeah.
Yes, but they're not in baby carriages.
The concept with the stroller is that you're allowed to take them places without having like a dog. So it's more discreet. They think it's a baby. They'll let you have them. My parents would not go anywhere without the dogs. I can never go to a restaurant with my parents without bringing the dogs. And therefore, I was like, okay, let me just do something more incognito.
Right. Well, thanks, Sarah, for that call. Let's take another call. Who do we have on the line?
Hello? Phantom caller. Okay, can we go back to the dog thing for 1 second while we find our caller?
Yes.
I personally, I know this is not what we talked about coming into the show, but I don't like when there's dogs in where I'm at. Like I'm at the store, I'm shopping, or I'm at the grocery store. I don't really want dogs licking and sniffing on my feet. Like
Well, and everybody calls it now the service dog.
Yes,
for,
but they're
like,
not
all
a
these,
service dog. They're on a leash with the
I have a
bedazzled.
hangnail. I need a service dog.
Yeah, I'm personally not a fan
Did
of that.
you take your dog into like stores and?
I take my dog anywhere that I can, anywhere that he would be well received. I do think it's kind of gross to certain places where someone else is thinking it's a sanitary issue. I'll try to be, really respectful of those boundaries.
Yeah. Well, our caller's back. So who do we have on the line?
Hi, my name is AJ.
Hi, AJ.
Hi, AJ.
Thanks for calling.
Hi.
AJ and MJ.
Oh, yes, I'm AJ Mercedes. I follow you on
Okay.
Twitter, and I love you.
Oh, awesome.
I follow Reza, too.
Awesome. Thanks, AJ.
So my question is, I love your style of dress, and I wish they gave you more shoe cam time. Would you do your own merchandising, like on line of makeup or shoes or clothes or anything in the future?
I would be open to it. To me, the most important career is the real estate. I know it's not covered a lot on the show, but that is my passion. The other products, it always bums me out that I don't already have something in place, because everything has to, though, in order to be successful, take a lot of time.
Right.
To launch a line that's going to last is definitely a full-time commitment. I will find a way to share, and I would always love to do it on a better budget than, some of the price tags on these shoes.
Right.
So thank you for that. And, I'm probably going to donate about 70% of my belongings in the next few months.
Really?
Mm-hmm. All of my
Wow.
purses and shoes and clothes are going to
What
go.
size do you wear?
Size 9.
Oh, damn.
Is there? I'm good. Is there a specific cause that you will donate for, or is it?
Mostly I like Dress for Success because
yeah.
it gives jobs to people that are not, on their feet right now. I
Right.
think that's always been something I've been passionate about. I've donated in the past.
Absolutely.
Have there been other things that have come? Thank you for calling, AJ. Have there
Okay,
been,
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, AJ.
Have there been other things that have come out of this show? I mean, besides the real estate that you didn't know was a passion, and suddenly you're like, wow, I had no idea that this was available to me, and now I get to support it. Or
Definitely. I think sharing recipes, like I said, cooking would be something I would want more people to be exposed to Persian food, because all of the good fats are in that, just like we know the Mediterranean diet is really popular.
Right.
And I'm not sure.
I mean, like being exposed. I mean, being a public figure, you're exposed to things. You probably get invited to things. You're asked to support, like BROADScast, but you were asked to support, other charities. I'm sure. I mean,
All
are there
the
things
time.
that came up that you weren't really savvy to before, but now because of your experiences, you're being
Or
introduced
your ability to
Reach people.
more people. Like, did you have a message before, and now you have this platform that you feel passionate about?
I think that two that stand out. One is that me, Pablo, and Julio started to visit children's hospitals and
yeah.
Old age homes. That has brought so much joy. That was something that I underestimated in the past. So I love to take them speaking of therapy dogs, to cheer them up. Another would be abuse within families. That was another thing that I became more involved in and more passionate about, because we do see a lot of that on
Right.
within relationships. So
Absolutely.
those two I definitely think would be the standout causes.
I just want to say, as someone who doesn't usually tend to tune into a reality show, that I appreciate that outside of the show that you've taken what you've been given and done some great work out into the community. I'm kind of a community geek that way. So, but I just, some people really take it and they just want their 15 minutes of fame and can't do more porn with it. But I appreciate that you've actually, done and you walk the talk and you're great shoes. But thank you.
Thank you so
Of
much for
course.
joining us. And
Thank
you
you
can
for having
catch
me.
Shahs of Sunset Monday nights at 9, 8 Central on Bravo. Don't go
Yay.
away. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Wow.
What an exciting day.
I wanted her shoes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you, please, go to our website and you can hear how many
Is that
shoes.
considered a fetish?
Woo!
What,
How many pairs
you're
of
taking
shoes?
apart the studio,
I know. I
Jackie.
feel like Cher over here. I'm like pulling the mic out. Really, that's my reference, Cher. But hey, question for you people: do you know a strong, smart, unstoppable broad? Go to BROADScast.com and to nominate could be yourself or someone else as our broad of the week. We have some nominations coming in because
Yeah.
we posted that on Facebook.
It's pretty fantastic.
I'm like honored that
Yeah.
people are telling their stories and the stories of people they know, because abroad, I think we're redefining what abroad is.
Right, but I also like the fact that people are nominating themselves.
Yes.
I'm really, I personally, as someone who is usually pretty self-deprecating and I don't always find my own strengths, I like that other women are like, me, pick me, I'm
Right.
pretty awesome.
Right.
We had one person who said, I went from a career woman to a soccer mom overnight. Like, she really is embracing her new role and her family. I love that women are seeing their own selves as broads and unstoppable, and I hope that this show continues to celebrate that.
Absolutely. And it's exciting because we can hear about somebody new every week, and maybe we'll put some additional broads on the website and really, feature them there. So, Tatiana, what's going on over there? Come on, talk to us. She's our associate producer, fabulous, and she's been manning our social media channels. But I want to get your feedback here. I know you're a huge Shahs of Sunset fan.
Yes, I am.
Step
I
up
was
to the mic,
really
baby. Step
excited
up to the
be
mic.
Sitting next to MJ.
Yeah. She smelled good, huh?
Yeah, she smells good. She looks good, and I really love that she owns who she is, and she doesn't let the TV and the cameras change who she is. I feel she was very genuine and authentic, and I love that.
Right.
And between her and our caller, Sarah, the first Sarah, Venice Beach will be populated with women who own their bodies.
And one of the in our commercials we have where every woman's voice matters. I know that one of the themes where people were talking about what abroad means to them, that so many of the women talked about being unapologetic for who they are.
Right.
And that was something I totally got from MJ sitting here. She's like, this is me. She comes in, she looks great, she just does not care, and she feels totally comfortable and confident. And
yeah.
And I feel that we need more of that. Women owning who they are and not trying to be like everybody else, and just be your own cup of tea. That's what I tell my friends. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You just need to own your own.
Oh,
you're young, because I would say your own glass of wine. I am my own vodka shot. Yeah.
Your own cup of tea. I like it. Oh, we're going to have a little cup of tea as our logo or something.
No, we're going to have vodka shots as our logo. Come on now, woman. With
It's
your
10
friends,
a.m.
we're a different generation. do you look at reality TV now? We didn't have this growing up. We had 3 channels when we were growing up. So reality TV has kind of it's breaking all barriers. Is that something that you watch and that you aspire to be, or do you think it's healthy? Do you find it to be hurtful?
Or do you take it with a grain of salt, the way it should be taken?
It kind of depends, the people that we don't talk about. Things like that. If I'm working a long day, I just want to numb my brain. So I watch that and...
Try Vicodin.
But really, does it numb your brain? I watch it. I literally, I don't think I've ever watched one full show of anything, because I want to be up on pop culture, but I just... It doesn't, for me, I don't want to put everything out there for cameras to watch, and I wonder what it says and teaches.
Honestly, I don't I personally don't want to put my whole life out there because I think like it opens up doors for people to be like coming into your life and having a lot of opinions about it.
Yes.
Like with reality TV, I mean, one that really stands out in my head is Love and Hip Hop, and I think it's embarrassing, but it's so good. Like it keeps you attracted to the TV, and like you're wondering like what are they gonna do next? But I mean, how they portray themselves on TV.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
good.
we gotta wrap it up, but you can. I know, but
Okay.
other than we're live every Friday morning from 10 a.m. Pacific time on KHTS 12:20 a.m. But you can also stick with us all week long on Facebook and Instagram, which is BROADScast, and also Twitter at BROADScast Show. And
also-
thanks. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, on our website too.
And our website, broadscast.com.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And YouTube and all those things. But you know what? You can find all of it at broadscast.com and one-stop shopping, and then you can find every channel that you want us
But just
on.
don't get sick of us because we're going to be here every week.
Yeah, there's that. So anyway, thanks to MJ from Shahs of Sunset and all of our callers and social media connectors today.
Yes.
It's been a great first show.
Yeah, and I also just want to give another thanks to our friends over at Whitening Lightning. They are a staple for Hollywood celebs and top YouTube influencers. Oh my gosh, that's a mouthful. Whitening Lightning's famous Dial a Smile kits are recognized all around the world as the best way to whiten in 20 minutes. For an exclusive 30% off just for our listeners, please go to whiteninglightning.com/shop and enter the promo code BROADScast. And we
And
really
that's it.
appreciate
We'll
you
see
guys.
you next time.
All right, then.
All right.
See ya.
Take care.